hand, Keith. This is pretty heavy.
Yeah, sure is.
Look, one hand.
What is it again?
Can't say that on TV. If you don't start with a wiener joke, are you even podcasting?
That is for darn sure. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Keith and Mike Watch Deep Space Nine. Today we are talking about Season 7, Episode 12, The Emperor's New Cloak. If we were watching Strange New Worlds, we'd be 2 episodes into the next season, but we are barely halfway through Season 7 of Deep Space Nine. Lots to talk about. Very excited about it. Mike, how you doing here on this Saturday morning?
It's good. I was feeling all kinds of emotions the other day. I can't remember what it was on, but I saw a friend of the show, Cameron Manheim, on on the TV the other day, and it made me really miss our old buddies from the practice. Many hours of podcasting and watching and videoing Keith and I had done, and that in turn made me realize we are indeed almost halfway through this show, and
we're a lot more than halfway.
Well, yeah, I mean the last season, and it made me also then think, hey, this is the last. This is a weird way to phrase this, but the last time I'll ever watch Deep Space Nine for the first time.
That's true.
And I can never have this experience again.
I mean, that's the whole
thing. Yes.
That's the whole premise of this entire show. So, but here's the thing. When you get wistful for it, you're going to have to do a rewatch, but then watch another YouTube review show where there's one dummy who knows everything and one dummy who's never seen it before, and watch it through his eyes and yell at yourself for not spoiling it for, new said dummy on the internet.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm doing good. It's a good weekend here. For funsies, if any of you have the MLB package for baseball for just a second, a colleague of mine, their big yearly on-site or work thing they do is they get the pimp diamond level seats at the Phillies game. So, and somebody couldn't go through the machinations of friendship. I am going to the Phillies game today on Saturday, the 30th, and I will be on TV because we are sitting in the first 2 rows behind the catcher. Like, when the ball gets fouled back and that one person behind the screen goes, that's me.
It'll be you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, I mean, fun. I have to say, as people, Mike and I think Mike probably has this experience as well. As poor people in a adjacently related to like an interesting industry, I end up going to so many cool things because somebody couldn't go, and I'm the guy who will show up day of when you need somebody to put on a jacket and be at opening night.
Yeah, 100%.
I've lived a pretty great and interesting life being the like, we need somebody. You know what? I bet Keith will come. I've lived an interesting life doing that. And so I've seen more stuff tagging along than I have of my own stuff, but I'll take it.
If you've got something for free, Lord knows we've said it enough times on the internet, we'll take it.
Well, we love free things. Big fan.
Can I tell a quick anecdote real quick that has nothing to do with this? I have an item here. Believe it or not, Keith, I actually downsized my server room.
What?
Yeah. Which is something Mike has never said.
I don't understand.
And so there was an old piece of equipment that I Facebook Marketplaced. And I tried to be reasonable, right? I thought about how much I paid for it. I've had it for about 5 years. And so I just took half the price off. I figured if I can recoup 50% of what I paid for this, that's pretty good.
Okay, sure.
I had a suspicion I made a mistake when I sold it within 11 seconds, right? But Facebook Marketplace people are motivated. The guy shows up today, and he's really looking at it. And I was like, I'm telling you, man, it's fine. If it doesn't work, if something's wrong, just let me know. And he goes, no. He's like, you probably could have got X amount of dollars for this, which was a lot more than I charged. And I was like, Yeah. I just really wanted to sell it today. And he's like, okay. Because at that point I was already in and I'm not going to renege. But I'm not feeling great right now fiscally, Keith. I feel like I robbed myself.
Decision.
Yeah, I robbed myself.
You robbed yourself. Well, you know what? Somebody out there, give Mike some free stuff.
Please.
We
actually have. Justine's Customs has sent me something. We are going to... I feel so
very
bad.
excited. I can't wait.
Because we sit on this until we can record free our episodes live, which I think maintains the sense of excitement of the shows.
Excitement, for sure, yeah.
Justine was obviously wondering, hey, it says delivered, but you haven't said anything, and I haven't seen anything, so did it get lost in the mail? And I'm so sorry I did not follow up. That's my bad.
Follow up, Mike.
Received, appreciated.
We don't know Justine watches this show. That's the problem. You're going to have to reach out directly, buddy.
I did.
Okay, good job.
But I'm just saying it online. My apology has to be...
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
If we don't say it on the podcast, Keith, does it really happen?
Does it? Well, I mean, does the podcast really happen? You know, I did actually answer the question, if a tree falls in the forest, does anybody hear it while I was at my parents' house? Because guess what? I did hear it. Tree fell. I heard it.
Hey, loud. If you can't tell, everybody, this is not a banger episode, so we're really stalling here in the beginning. Let's get going.
Yeah, but wait, you don't know what I think about it yet.
Oh, we could.
So, with all of this discussion of things that are free, you want to know what's not free, Mike?
Getting your comment from last week?
Read on the internet.
Yes.
Boom! There it is. So we want to talk about last week's episode, Prodigal Daughter. Now, if people would like to pay handsomely for the generous reward of hearing their words spoken, like mumbled and read incoherently by me on the internet, how would they do that?
Hey, you can leave us a super tip on YouTube, which is an option buried under about 17 menus, but it's there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You could also become a patron at patreon.com/K&M, and there you can watch me watch every episode of this here series, except apparently for Season 3, Episode 2, which I know I recorded with CEO Jen. It's just don't know where exactly it's living, so I will try to... One patron is going through the catalog. I am trying to find that.
Where's 302, man?
I gotta dig.
What is that? The search part 2?
Yes, which is, I understand why you want to see it, but if I can't,
autism. If
I can't, then I will refund you. I get what, about 7 fractions of a cent, which is
Great.
What I think no, you can join us and your comments will get read. I am just going to briefly comment on someone who made a comment on one of our shows recently. Look, we got a couple...
Oh, you want to just jump right into it?
We got a couple trolls here and there. Me and Keith
I have an alternate opinion, but Mike, by all means.
We got some trolls here and there. And, you know, there have been some great ones. I believe one person just called us wankers.
Mm-hmm, indeed.
And there's been some other...
Can't deny it.
Yeah, there's been some other fun stuff. I'm just going to say this, because Keith gave me a counterpoint earlier, and so I'm not going to go off. I decided not. But I will say this. Generally speaking, latent homophobia...
or any flavor of it.
Is not the flex you think it is.
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking to two, like, very progressive liberals. Well, you're not offending me. You're offending a lot of other people. And if it rises to a level that we feel it's just not cool around here. So that's all I'm saying. It's not cool. No flavor of bullying is cool. That's particularly very uncool.
Yeah, not welcome here. Homophobia, not welcome here.
Yeah.
Or any other flavors of phobia. Thank you very much.
See that, Keith? I didn't. That was it. That's all
you didn't. You know what? And you were so excited because, like, sometimes it's so latent I can't tell whether they mean it like literally, like, oh, that's nice, or they mean it mean. It's hard to say sometimes. With the subtext of the internet is not strong. But anyway, yeah. We're not done. This is a safe space except for the homophobes. It's not safe for you. Anyway, let's talk about Prodigal Daughter, shall we?
Yes. Should we talk about the definition of prodigal first?
We should. Well, I mentioned it on the show.
You did?
I mentioned it, that, it does not mean you went away and came back.
It does.
But
the second definition in Webster's dictionary is the person who returns from a period away.
Although, I wonder if that is a definition that has been added because of our cultural misunderstanding, and now it thus becomes that?
Could be, but that's not the point. We're not discussing the Ouroboros of word origin. We are what's the face? An Ouroboros is a snake eating its own tail. So a definition of a word that becomes a definition because of the cultural misunderstanding would be an Ouroboros of word origin. All right? Okay. Don't come at me today.
Whoa, dude! Hey!
My new medicine keeps me on task, which it doesn't because we're already 20 minutes in and haven't said anything about Star Trek.
On task!
It is speed, so if I seem a little more speedy than usual...
You definitely, I mean, you were like up and texting me this morning, and I'm like, woo. Yeah,
I'm also sweating a lot. So, there you have it. Anyway, what are we saying? Yes, the words. Could you read some?
What were we saying? Words. Can you read some?
Well, at least we have the tag for the episode in the first 10 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, I think we've got a lot of options. All right, so here's what you had to say. The patrons, who you can join us at patreon.com/K&M, spell it that, and for Prodigal Daughter, Joshua Cronin says, this is a pretty lackluster episode, but I think the writing staff was trying to do was give some story building for Ezri to try and catch her up to the regular long-lived cast. It didn't deliver in the most exciting tone, but it's an episode. I give it 60 self-sealing stem bolts. Look, Joshua always generous and always on the, he is perhaps our most optimistic.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, because that's kind of what our show is.
Mm-hmm.
Brian from Video Game Drive-By says, hey guys, thanks so much for the kind words following last week's episode. I always forget about this episode. Super short comments from me this week. While I like this episode, it is the single most unnecessary episode of the entire series. At least as far as I can remember, there is no more bad episodes. 65 stem bolts.
Emperor's New Cloak says, hold my beer.
You know what? I think we're going to have an interesting discussion because I'm not going to argue that it is good. What I will argue is it's harmless and kind of fun.
Sure. Spoiler alert.
Mm-hmm.
Read that last comment again, and I'll tell you when to stop.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you don't have to, not the beginning, the episode portion.
While I like this episode, it is the single most unnecessary episode of the entire series.
Stop. That's where I would say there's a conversation to be had. This episode, though not terrible, feels completely unnecessary.
Well, it certainly does, but I don't think it's as unnecessary as Prodigal Daughter, because I do think it has at least one nugget which brings context to the rest of.
Okay, well then we will have that debate momentarily.
We're gonna get into
about
it.
4 to 6 hours.
4 to 6 hours. We'll see. How Mike's speed is working. Jason Moe says this episode is dead as hail. 4
dead as hail.
Very generous stem bolts. 4. Yeah, fair enough. Hibernation Pod says, quoting us, I don't know if it was you or me, but not terrible, but almost terrible, and boring as hell. Probably Mike, yeah. Sums it up. I totally forgot about this one, and will again by tomorrow, I'm sure.
Dead as hell.
Well played, Kirk. However, I once again can agree with you both. There's plenty of blame to place on the mother, and sometimes their kids just might finally explode in the worst way. Not always the case, of course. I've had my hammering from family. I hate most of them. But I ain't gonna go super psycho murderous, thank you. But that's just me. 0 self-sealing stem bolts, because in season 77, if it ain't 70, it really stinks.
So this is an interesting comment. And JD's comment, which you're about to read, is also very interesting to me. Because I have found, and I mean this sincerely, because I'm talking straight out of my orifices. The patron comments, and this is another great thing for being a patron, have really become part of the fabric of my interpretation of the shows and experience of them.
Of course, because they're way smarter than we are.
It's not just that, but yes, they reframe things. So I will say, you'll notice coming up, and you'll have to read my response to JD, he actually changed my official ranking for this episode.
Oh.
And that comment right there, that last tag, which read it again, it's so good. Cousin Season 7.
If it ain't 70, it really stinks.
Reframed my viewing of this episode. So,
oh, interesting.
So y'all have impact.
Yeah, okay. Well, there you go. YouTube viewer says, this is one of my least favorite Season 7 episodes. Tied with the next episode. Oh, you and YouTube viewer are going to agree, apparently. I normally just write it off when I'm doing a marathon of Deep Space Nine, but your show has got me introspective. I wanted to find out why I don't like this episode.
I like it. Let's always go deeper. That's what Keith and I are about. It's not just top level.
Oh, so deep.
We want to know. We want to get into the weeds of the fart joke. You know, like we need to go deep into that fart joke.
Yes, exactly. I thought it was because I don't like Ezri, and this is an Ezri-centric episode. But there are a few Ezri episodes I do like. I think this episode had the potential to be good, and he lays out a great many great potential stories. With my 2020 hindsight, I would have made a story where Odo, Quark, and O'Brien go to New Sydney. O'Brien awkwardly tries to make things right with Bilby's widow, while Quark and Odo reluctantly team up to take down a conspiracy that has nothing to do with Ezri's family. I like that. Also, put a Dominion spy into the mix. That's an episode. Yeah, you know what? Actually, that made me think, like, last time we did Orion Syndicate stuff, what made that relevant was the ties to the Dominion. And we lost that in this episode. So YouTube also has another episode. Second, I would also have a separate episode about Ezri's family. I have two ideas for this one. First idea is that Ishka is given provisional permission to seek profit and enters a partnership with Ezri's mom, who is also a businesswoman. I like that connection as well. They visit Deep Space Nine at the same time. Ishka checks in on Nog, but finds out he isn't sulking anymore, so she refocuses her attention on Quark, and the two get in a fight. Of course, Ezri and Ezri's mom get into a disagreement. Ultimately, the two mother arguments mirror each other, and Ezri is able to mediate Quark and Ishka's fight, and Ishka is able to help mediate Ezri and Miss Tegan's fight. Okay. The second idea is more action-oriented. The Defiant responds to an SOS from a civilian ship, and it happens to have Ezri's family on it. They are happy to be rescued, but don't like the idea of Ezri doing these dangerous things all the time, and they are mad at Ezri avoided visiting them. But by the end of the episode, Ezri's family regains their respect for Ezri's contribution to society, and Ezri promises to keep in touch more often. You know, you need a time machine, because you submit scripts left and right, and I think they could get produced if this were 1995. I like it. 50 out of 100 self-sabotaging stem bolts. Mike, let me ask you a philosophical question. In your life, how many self-sabotaging stem bolts do you think you have?
I don't know, but we can find out on Tuesday when I go to the therapist and talk about them at length. Every week, Tuesday at noon, join me, if you will.
Can we live stream that for the patrons? I find that would be interesting.
Yeah, it would be. Actually, I'm not going to go on that tangent, but yeah, quite a bit. I have a long history of self-sabotage. It actually seems to be the fabric of one of my psyche, so I'm working on it, and yeah.
Aren't we all?
Is that the question? Is that the answer you're expecting?
Kinda.
Yeah, all right.
JD says, I knew that dead as hell button was going to pay off.
Dead as hell.
Keith, do you not call your mother ma'am?
Yeah,
what kind of impolite crap are you calling your mom? I'm convinced they wrote and filmed this episode early in the season, but then delayed it to mid-season, because one executive felt they really needed the Ezri character development episode, but everyone involved in making the actual thing were so complacent about doing it, they just didn't care. And did this to make the executive happy. Somewhere, someone who loves this episode is raging at this commentary. I have yet to find them. They're still in hiding. It's not the worst episode, but it's so very poor. I'll say it's a 50 self-sealing stem bolt from me. It could be self-sabotaging. It's just SS. Who knows? Yeah, it is interesting.
I misattributed my fabric comment about who said if it's not 70, it stinks. I said that was JD. It was not.
It was Hibernation Pod.
It was Hibernation. I apologize.
Yeah.
I give JD enough credit, all right?
Yeah. It's interesting because, like...
Tux, get down.
Tux. How Esri heavy the first 12 episodes of this season is... It's very Esri heavy. And
I would consider this kind of an Esri...
This is kind of an Esri one, yeah. And I'm feeling like our... Yeah, for good and bad, right? Because we had Paper Moon, which was one of the perfect episodes of Deep Space Nine, if not television. But again, not really about any of our heroes. And the same thing with last week, and same thing with this week. You know, we see some of them, but like it's like we haven't had a Cisco episode in a month.
Every time, and I say this in every watch along, when you see Cisco, when I see him walk on screen, I'm always like, oh, okay, here's how we're getting Cisco back in. And then he's gone again. At least in this middle portion.
Yeah, it's a weird middle portion, and I don't know why we're so Esri heavy. I mean, I know that the main cast, sort of behind the scenes, this show was really hard to film, and it was exhausting and took a lot. And I can understand at this point, like our main cast, like I could use a break. Can we? And so like leaning heavily on the new character because she's not burned out, right? But it is interesting. Oh, and the same thing with Kira Ducat on the station. Like we haven't seen most of our cast for most of the episodes thus far. And so I don't know if it's the shiny new toy from the writers, or whether the network is saying like she's pretty, put her on TV a lot, or what. It has been very Esri heavy. Anyway, and just as an interesting, not a patron, unless you are a patron, and that I don't realize because the names are different. Had a good long discussion about the alcohol spraying theater outfits.
Yeah,
and quite from Onagata 81 was when wait, are you like for real? And yes, very much for real.
Yeah, and I also think that like Keith and I gave you the impression that the alcohol spraying theater technique was in any way, shape, or form effective. It is not. I mean, the costumes still stink, and I don't think they're any less dirty. So
they're not less dirty. Look, we don't know what it would smell like if they weren't doing the alcohol.
Yeah, but like BO that smells like vodka is still BO.
You can't change science.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me tell you, like even on the highest level on Broadway, these beautiful $10,000 costumes that will blow you away, go backstage.
Yeah.
They stank.
Well, yeah, because you can only dry clean. It's not like you're dry cleaning a dress shirt. I mean, Elphaba's frock is.
Well, I mean, God, that's the like I was.
A lot of these things are also like held together with duct tape and toothpicks, as glamorous as they look from stage. So
on, like in Jillian's show, and it should have been you. Like there's like the wedding dresses, like they're just like wearing a wedding dress every single night, and you can't like clean it. Same way, and I was backstage at Rock of Ages, and like this costume cost $10,000.
Interesting,
like can't clean it.
Our theater tidbit for the week will be this. That is so far down the list of things you're concerned about as an actor, though, because what the union fights so hard about, and this makes sense, and what the laundry clauses in these union contracts are, has really little to do with the costumes getting dry cleaned. There are things about it, but it's really about your underwear. Having your underwear cleaned properly, your socks, your drawers, your undershirts, and also your valuables. They're in charge of your valuables, or can be.
And also, like, what gets stinky? The mic pack. That's what gets stinky.
Yeah, because a lot of people put that in their butts crack. Or
I don't put it in my butt crack, but like on the small of my back, and like it just collects all the sweat because I'm a sweaty guy.
That's ostensibly, you know what that is, Keith? It's nothing but the mouth or the delta of your butt crack.
Yes. It's the watershed before it feeds into the river.
Not even on Google Earth do you have the privilege of seeing the watershed into Keith's butt crack?
Buy me dinner first. All right.
Depends on which apps you're on.
That's true. I gotta swipe right ever. I'm too shy to swipe right on anybody. All right. Anyway, lastly, Casey Alexander had a really good point about, we were talking about music and memory, and reaffirming all of that, and had an interesting conversation there. So check that out.
Great comments and conversations on the YouTube. If you're not a patron, that's fine. Still, just engage.
Yeah, we're still reading it. We're absolutely engaging with it 100%. And actually, a lot of people are commenting on old videos like, no one will ever read this. Oh yeah, we're reading it.
Yeah,
we're 100% reading it and appreciating it, even when you're way back on like Duet or something. Yeah. All right, so The Emperor's New Cloak. Let's talk about this episode, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Which aired on February 3rd, 1999. We took another month off.
Oh no!
No.
Wasn't enough, I don't think.
That's fine. I think we're gonna be okay. Our top song here in the winter of 1999. Micah, you ready? Burr, 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 burr. Come on, hit me. Burr, 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 burr. Come on, hit me, baby, one more time. I did this thing. Killing me.
Hold on. Was I supposed to get "Hit Me Baby One More Time" from because that's what you just did?
Yes. But you would get from this? Hold on.
I'd have a better shot at that. Sure, but that's not what you did. You did ba ba ba. You just said 3 syllables.
I would like to point out, every single song you sing by yourself, is there any chance of anybody, after I've told them the name of the song, to get any of it?
Keith's vocal intro is killing me. I can't believe he thinks I'd get that key. Get that key. All right, now that I've injured myself.
Okay, well, there you go.
Dead as hell.
Dead as hell. The top movie, Payback. Remember that? It's a Mel Gibson movie?
I just put that. I didn't purposely put that, but I just downloaded I acquired a 90s movie pack. And I saw Payback pop up, and I was like, oh yeah, Payback.
Yeah, I don't remember that one. But I don't go out fishing for Mel Gibson movies anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was on television here in 1999?
Nothing particularly exciting, Keith, but 2 random facts that I thought might be interesting for this portion.
Sure, we've wasted a lot of
Keith
your time.
wouldn't know, but there was an offshoot of Nickelodeon. Well, now there's a bunch of them, but the first offshoot of Nickelodeon, you'd think it was Nick Jr., I think, was first, but there was an offshoot called Noggin, which was more of like an educational-focused preschool channel, and that aired the same time as this Deep Space Nine episode. The beginning of the Noggin channel, don't know if it's still in play, began right here. And also, this was the UK premiere of the smash hit Sex and the City, which had started in America already, but just moved over the pond to begin in the UK this day in 1999.
Wow. Just finally closing up shop, if you'd believe it. Yeah, okay. Well, what was Voyager doing?
That you just summed up the whole podcast with everything we do. Yep.
Okay. All right. That's what we're doing. The Voyager did have a new episode tonight, and it was the episode Gravity, in which we got some big spiders, we got some time portals, and maybe Tuvok's got a girlfriend.
Cool. Can't wait to meet.
It was a good episode. I actually liked that episode. Yeah, I enjoyed that one. So this episode, The Emperor's New Cloak, was directed by LeVar Burton.
Yes.
Geordi himself. In the sky.
Okay.
Burn.
I can go twice as high. Take a look. It's in a fucking book. I said a written rainbow. I'm doing good, everybody. Feeling
Okay, so let's get that medication just turned down just a little bit. Focused, right? On topic?
absolutely not working.
So how's the medication going on? Well, I've been doing my tasks in the morning, and then I've been screaming reading Rainbow with F-bombs on the internet. Is that like a side effect? What's going on with that?
What if it was listed as a side effect? That would be an infomercial. It's like anal leakage may cause heart arrhythmia, may cause uncontrollable screaming of the 1990s hit Reading Rainbow.
With F-bombs. So, wow, as I tried desperate, I'm gonna need medication for your...
You didn't know you needed the metal cover of Reading Rainbow until right now.
Was that metal?
Well, it felt like it, vocally.
I need medication for Mike's medication.
Could you put your brother on that, by the way? A metal Reading Rainbow cover?
I mean, he certainly could, yeah. He could definitely do that.
He's the one I thought of.
Yeah. Anyway...
I'm so sorry, everyone.
Really helping them to focus, like really staying on task.
I think it's the coffee. I think I have to reconsider my caffeine intake with this medication.
Quite possibly. Anyway, so this is a wrap on LeVar Burton on Deep Space Nine, but the last thing he directed was Resurrection, the last Mirror episode. So he became a bit of a mirror specialist at the end of this. This was written by Ira Steven Behr and Hans Beimler, the big kids. Interestingly enough, let's do some trivial trivia because this is such a hard-hitting episode. Now, Keith, waste your time
with what?
With trivial trivia. Okay. Well, first off, this episode is dedicated to Jerome Bixby, who died almost a year before this aired, who wrote the very first Mirror episode, Mirror Mirror, in 1967. Well, I'm excited for you to get to that episode in your rewatch of, or first watch of original series. In fact, you know what? I have a confession to make. I'm still finishing the original series. I saw a great many of them, like most of us did, after school as a kid on the reruns. But I've never done a full all the way through rewatch of it. And so like I'm actually sort of working my way through so I can really make sure, because I don't really know where my holes are. Like I feel like I've seen or I'm culturally aware of almost all of them, but like there's some ones I have not seen and it's been interesting.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm so overlooked. I never actually knew what syndication meant. I thought syndication just referred to it playing in other markets nationally. I didn't know that it actually meant sequentially. Like it's just on a loop, basically. It plays start to finish, 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 start to finish. I thought they just like jumped around and could air whatever they want. Maybe that is legal, but most of the syndication I see on these channels is running in loop. Like they get to the finale and then the next episode is season 1 and they go.
Well, no. I mean, at least it might mean something different today. At that point, what that meant was the show was independent of the networks.
So the rights were sold out.
So the rights were sold piecemeal. So it might be on Fox on one channel in one area and CBS in another area and whatever. So it just meant it was an independent product, and so it had to air outside of whatever network's regular schedule was. Because you can't be competing with CBS primetime. So if it was on a CBS network, it had to be on when there wasn't national programming going on. And so it aired like a regular show, but it was just purchased by the affiliates and not the networks.
So is the sequential, how they air it is agnostic to the
I don't believe that is related to it. And so they aired it just like anything else. So they would air reruns and, when they didn't have a new season, but they wouldn't go back and air stuff from season 1. They would air stuff just like it were anything else. But it might be different today with all like the free stream, because now there's like a Baywatch channel that just runs
the VOD
Baywatch
stuff
24/7. It's crazy. And like, why are there live channels if it's on demand? I don't understand, but whatever. It's how we do. that we do. It doesn't cost them anything to have a dedicated Baywatch channel, which is a great second screen if you're wondering, just like on mute.
I think you actually nailed it. I think that's the reason why it's a channel versus VOD, so you don't have to keep clicking the thing, and it's also the way it's served. I think it's cheaper to serve it, just have it running, Anyway, let's move forward.
There it is. So Esri Tegan of the Mirror Universe is distinguishable from the Prime Universe's Esri Dax by the color of her eyes. Esri Dax has blue eyes, the same color as Jadzia, while her mirror counterpart has darker eyes.
Oh, that's how we distinguish it?
Among other things.
It's not the fact that they just mated Esri. If Esri had a baby with Han Solo, who then had a baby with Pat Benatar, you would have this character. Right? Am I right? Is that not the perfect picture?
Yeah. Just like a touch of Mr. Bean.
Yeah. Okay. No, you know who's Mr. Bean? The Rom and Quark are Mr. Bean in this episode.
Big time.
Mr. Bean and Mr. Magoo.
Love
Two
it.
real relevant cultural touchstones for our young viewers.
We don't have any young viewers. We have... All right, folks out there. If you type on there, on our YouTube, and you are under 30...
no way.
We will, I don't know, give you some sort of a prize. It won't be
Wow.
physical, but we'll
It won't be physical.
It'll be like an emotional
Actually, the prize is the lack of physicality. Or the prize will be we won't touch you.
Puerto Rico!
I don't mean. Oh no.
Puerto Rico!
Man, I wish I had done a supercut of just all the times we shout Puerto Rico, especially for those who have no idea what we're talking about. Which is most everybody.
Anyway, so Nicole DeBur's natural eye color is brown.
Cool.
But she apparently has to wear Dax blue contact lenses the entire series. I wouldn't have known. I didn't know that. So this would indicate that her eye color changed when joined with the Dax symbiont, rather than her having naturally bright eyes. That's, like, I don't think that's canon, but that's interesting. It's also interesting that they force her to wear contacts this whole time.
Yeah, there's so many other things that we just let go or shortcut because it's production, but yet this little detail, we're like, okay, be uncomfortable.
Yeah, like this whole time. This thing I did not ever know.
Also, they're so heavy-handed with the costume on her that there's no chance I was going to recognize her eyes were a different color.
Yeah,
and the wig, like, come on.
It's mirror. It's mirror. It's the mirror universe. Come on.
But hold on. I'm going to say it here, and then we can talk about it later. The mirror universe wasn't always that way. The first, 2 mirror universe episodes, there was some commentary on the character differences. There was some intrigue politically. There was some, and now it's just like a chance for, hey, put a wig and a costume on. It's the LARPing episode from Strange New Worlds where you had such a problem with it, and now you're going to defend it.
Well, okay, all right, fine. I mean, we're we're in the wrong place to talk about this, but look, this episode finally acknowledges and is able to have fun with that the mirror universe makes no sense.
You think they're commenting on that?
Never has.
You think they're commenting on that?
Of course. What do you think Rom's doing the entire time? All Rom does is wait, so you're not the backwards guy, so you're this.
Okay, cool, but you can't do that at the end of the game. This is not in isolation. There's 4 other episodes that were in the mirror universe that were, I mean, not the greatest, but a couple were okay, and now you're going to close it out by being...
This doesn't make any sense.
In
Acknowledging
season 7,
the truth,
where there's actual shit that's happening that's important that we could be talking about?
Well, that's a separate... I think it's a separate discussion.
It's the same thing.
Whether or not the mirror universe is
if
worth
you're so
continuing.
hyper-aware that you're going to comment on the unnecessary, the unneed for the episode, why are we doing the episode?
Well, that is agreed. I don't, I think
somebody
the mirror
watched
episodes...
last week, right? They did the finals dailies, and they decided to air that episode, and then they're like, "Well, I guess we got to put this one in." You don't. I guess you do.
Yeah, you do.
You
very much
yeah.
do. Well, luckily, we're going to get more information in this because we're going to hear from the creators about this episode.
Great.
So this episode came about because Ira Steven Behr wanted to have a Quark Rom show before they got into the final arc. And they chose the Mirror Universe as a setting because it gave us a chance to present another example of the Ferengi having to face adversity and danger, and Quark having to rise above himself a little bit. Behr also commented, "We all felt the need, with a small n, to revisit the alternate universe one last time. Let's face it, the alternate universe is such a wacky idea, and I don't care what anybody says. Mirror, Mirror, the original episode from the original series, was a wacky, silly show. Though we tried in many ways to play it with a straight face, at first on Deep Space Nine, as time went on, it just became tougher for us not to see it for what it was, which was kind of a rather flaky alternative to what we'd been doing. So who better than to have Rom and Quark? Rom is trying to figure out the alternate universe. I just thought Rom stood in for all the fans who want logic and want it to make sense and want it to be taken seriously, something that is inherently not that serious. He cracked me up every time he tried to label it or tried to find a definition of it. To me, it spoke a lot about the fans and Star Trek. His little arc on that show, the need for it all to make sense in the most obvious way. To really enjoy the alternate universe episodes, you just have to let go. You have to relax your sphincter a little bit, Mike, and not be so anal about it and just try to have some fun." Wow, Ira Steven Behr just bitch slapped you from 1999.
Okay, but you put it on TV. And you're making a commentary on your own thing. You're wasting the time on it. I will admit that Rom probably is the best part of the episode, but in that same comment, right, you got Rom, who has done such an incredible arc, an incredible character building. Quark has even moved slightly up the needle, and yet when posed with blatant misogyny, once again, even as Ferengis who have elevated it, they don't make a comment on it there. They all go, girls are kissing, and they all go, oh, you're blatantly cheating on our mom, who's the most important thing, and we came across realities to save you, and you're just gonna be like, nah, we won't mention it. It's some BS.
Well, okay. There are two different things you're pointing out.
I'm just saying, you can't get credit for being like, we're gonna really be spot on with our calling out the ridiculousness of it, and then
I didn't think it was spot. I think it was self-aware. I don't think it was this much of a commentary other than a self-aware. The misogyny of the Ferengi we've talked about a lot. Whether or not, whether Zek cheating on Moogie.
It's not just the misogyny of the Ferengi. It's when we play it as comedy is now misogyny of the episode.
Well, but we don't really know what the relationship Zek has with Ishka. Whether every relationship have different terms.
Are we in alternate reality right now?
Hey, look, every relationship has different terms. Every relationship, I don't judge anybody's the structure of their relationship as long as it's by mutual consent.
Okay.
So we don't know that Mogie's like, yeah, go to the alternate universe, have fun, come back and do the dishes.
Then why is it not? Why shouldn't we mention it?
I don't know. I'm not saying it is that. I'm saying we don't know.
Because it seemed pretty clear to me Zek didn't want her to know.
Well, that's fair, but I would say that's sort of crappy relationship behavior. I don't know if it's necessarily misogyny. What I do have a bone to pick with is the cheap lesbians are evil that I do not like. It is not good representation in this movie, this episode. We'll get into it. We desperately need to get into this episode because we are so deep into it already.
I'm so sorry.
So glad you're so focused. The guest stars this week are Andrew J. Robinson as Garrick, Mirror Garrick, Jeffrey Combs as Mirror Brunt, Mac Grodenchik as Regular Rom, J.G. Hertzler as Regular Martok, Tiny Ron as Regular Mayhardu, Chase Masterson as Mirror Lita, and Wallace Shawn as Regular Zek. You know who is always welcome in the mirror or not mirror? Mm-hmm. I don't care if you're wearing a goofy outfit, you're still welcome here.
Well, that would be the patrons. And friends, I'm not going to blast the music, and I'm not going to read all of these names, but Keith is going to mention the new folks who have joined us.
Yes, our good new friends, Gala, welcome. And Floria, also welcome. And Sangel is also pretty new as well. Old Guys Eating Oatmeal, we know that's you, JD, bud. You just, you deserve your plaudits even though we know it's you.
Also, I want to mention our newest patron, Joe Soperito, who will get up on the slide soon. Thank you so much for joining. Also, there is...
Oh, right.
Yeah, there is
wait, Casey Alexander. I didn't read the full comment. I mentioned it. See, here we go. Anyway, this episode is a mess.
There's so many folks and friends who put up with our nonsense, no matter how scattered, because they know that we're earnest at the very, very least. So thank you for joining. You can be a part of that team, patreon.com/KNM.
Yes. So I want to give Casey's full due here. It's finalized that Keith, your comment about music being tied to memory when I was talking counterpoint theory with our professor and was a little obsessed. Did you go to music school, Casey? That's cool. She went into details about how music and smell are more stored in the core reptilian parts of your brain. This is why a smell can trigger a memory and how you may not know what you ate for breakfast, but you can bust out all the words to your favorite musical or that one Backstreet Boys or Britney Spears song that didn't want anyone to know you sing in traffic. I sing all of them, and I don't care. Everybody knows. All right, so let's go into the screening room, desperately try to cling onto our structure. All right, so we have our first little bit of real-world things that matter here, because Bashir and Ezri seem to be hitting it off in Quark's. And Quark is naturally insanely jealous. And Odo naturally has no sympathy whatsoever. But there's no time for that.
Oh, you remember Odo?
Yeah.
Remember when he was on the show?
Yeah. It's been a while. It's been a while. Well, here's the thing. Peek behind the curtain. Not next week, not the week after, but in the next 4 or 5 episodes, we are going to start the final arc.
Okay.
And once we get on it, we are not getting off.
Okay, great. Glad to know it.
So
we gotta ride a couple of the kiddie rides before we can get on the coaster.
We gotta we're knocking out the last few episodes that stand alone before we basically just do a movie.
Cool.
To the end of the series.
Cool.
So spoiler alert. Rom comes in and says the Nagus has disappeared. He is overdue from returning from a business trip. Quark, they have to go save him. We don't know what's going on yet. So Quark goes to pray to a shrine to get Ezri. And he, of course, has to bribe the shrine by putting latinum in its ears. And I wonder, who has that shrine? There's also a really cool... Oh, yeah, go back one. Yeah, go back to it. So there's a pan here that is really interesting, playing with perspective. So the camera, there's no cut. The camera just moves. And look at what the scale seems like for the shrine.
Yeah, it looks huge.
It looks huge, and they pan around. It's actually much, much smaller. And you can see what a camera angle can do to the scale of things. This is why Tom Cruise looks like a normal human being.
I just thought, I will give credit where it's due. I thought the storytelling, the just sort of universal lore of the piggy bank prop, where the latinum goes, the way they pray, the puns,
you have to bribe your shrine.
The wordplay of the Ferengi religion is very clever. I'll give it all that.
It's fun. It's fun. It's good world building. And I would love to have that on my shelf. Somebody has that? I want it. So then Ezri arrives at his door. But she's all mean and dressed in black pleather. We know what that means.
Hit me with your best shot.
Yeah. Yeah, she's all like, whoop. She's got a little flare.
It's actually like scary. If you've ever played, I don't know if anyone has played, any gamers out there have played the Ubisoft Star Wars Galaxies open world third-person adventure, the lead character is exactly this character. Looks like this Ezri, also is a swashbuckling smuggler in this greater universe who's going around and has no ties or loyalties. It's this character.
I just started playing Cyberpunk, and that's sort of my character as well.
Cool.
She's cute. Anyway, Quark, of course, thinks this is all a role-playing sex game. And I gotta say, I respect your confidence, sir.
Yeah, game recognizes game.
Overconfidence recognizes overconfidence.
Well, I mean, if you burst into my room...
After you prayed...
Yeah, then one of two things. I'm going to be murdered, or we gonna bang.
Those are the only two.
And those are the only two options.
It's amazing. You should see Mike react when a pizza gets delivered.
I have Quark's face.
Yeah, he's either going to get murdered or going to bang.
Pepperoni?
Wow. Yep, well.
You're
anyway.
my brown-eyed girl.
That's true. So she plays a message from Zek. He has gone into the mirror universe to open up new business. And of course, he is now being held prisoner by the Alliance. And the price for his return is a cloaking device, which apparently they do not have in the mirror universe.
What I do like about this beat is it reminded me, Keith and I are Stephen King stans, and you've read 11/12/62, and the whole conceit of that, well, not the whole conceit, but one of the conceits of that is that there's this guy from the 50s who finds this portal, or right, 56, finds this portal, and just like brings a little bit of money through, and a little bit of money back. And it's very clever.
Yeah, except it's completely backwards, but yeah, conceptually.
Yeah, conceptually.
So,
I mean, Zek's plan is not stupid.
Well, I mean, it's a whole nother universe to make business with, and because your technology... And I think there's an interesting commentary here about why we have cloaking device and why they don't. Because their universe is spent almost entirely in war, and ours hasn't. So we've been able to advance some technology, which is interesting and optimistic. However, frankly, our technology advances faster during times of war than it does, or at least one side gets more technology.
Yeah, it actually makes no sense when you really think about it, but...
It's fun. It's fun. Sure. It's fun. They know it doesn't make sense.
There are no rules. You won't hear me do the wormhole buzzer once because the whole episode is about how none of this makes any goddamn sense, which it's all wormholes, so...
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the mirror universe. That's just how it is. So of course, Rom and Quark steal a cloaking device from the Klingons. We're still on this side of the universe, so I can call that a wormhole. How the hell did Rom and Quark steal a cloaking device from the Klingons?
They cloaked it, man.
Yeah, but how'd they get onto the Klingon ship and all that? I mean, like...
We're not going to mention Quark's jammies at all? Like...
Which weirdly have the same, like... They use the same pattern from, like, a uniform.
Yeah.
Because it's got the sort of stripy dealy there.
That's just like that was my grandma's curtains. Like those thick, silky curtains that you're just like, why? But he's wearing it.
Yeah. I think he's wearing it well.
I mean, we're not denying that she very attractive.
Oh, I don't think anybody, any side of the universe.
Awesome shot.
Great shot. So we have a really fun sequence, miming carrying a cloaking device, which I thought was delightful.
They're very good at it, yes.
Where's your sense of whimsy, sir?
Yeah.
It's a cloaking device.
I guess I'm just whimsied out.
Well, hey, do not let Strange New Worlds infect your Deep Space Nine.
They're just so much more competent than this episode lets them be. They're so bumbling.
They stole a cloaking device from the Klingons.
Yeah, they just like break in it like you.
That's pretty competent.
That's the last thing they do. That's competent. This whole scene with, actually, here's the thing, and here's where you'll find.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just stupid, but they're so good at it that they pull it off. So I can't fault it. I'm faulting the episode more than the performances because this whole beat with like two of the most brilliant tacticians we've ever seen on Trek, and then they talk about the wallpaper in the corner. Like, it's such a dumb beat,
No, it's ridiculous. I mean,
But
like,
how they all play it
stupid.
straight. I mean, I guess when you have somebody like LeVar who's so respected and whatnot, and if he's, I guess he must. I guarantee he came in and been like, "We're playing this straight, everybody. Play it straight."
Well, you have to. Yeah, that's comedy. Secret to comedy is playing a ridiculous situation
up front, and you can see patreon.com/KNM. I do LOL a couple times.
It's hilarious.
Well, let's relax. It's
Star Trek hilarious.
It's chuckle inducing. Hilarious is not a word we're going to use.
I will. Because I still have light and joy in my life.
Okay. All right.
I don't think the pizza man is going to murder me.
Pepperoni?
Both my highs and lows aren't there. Like, the pizza man is not going to murder me. I'm also not going to get any extra toppings.
Sure.
Anyway, I think they have a really fun sequence miming carrying a cloak device. Rom begins trying to understand the rules of the mirror universe, assuming everything is opposite. And I wrote hilarious and very self-aware for the show. And as an autistic person, I like to try to figure out the rules too, and sometimes they are inscrutable and ridiculous.
Yeah, but just saying that doesn't... That's what bothers me about some horror movies. It's like, acknowledging that there are no rules doesn't make me feel better that there are no rules.
Well, obviously, it would be better if there were rules. For sure.
The only rule in this episode, which I will say is kind of fun, is that everybody's going to double-cross everybody. It's just constant double-crossing.
Yeah, they're all just crappy people everywhere.
And with no motivation.
Not that we need to care about.
Yeah. Not really.
No.
Like, I mean, yeah. Okay, well, we don't have to get into it. Let's go.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. So Cisco and Martok walk by, and Quark and Nog hilariously freeze and stare at the wall. I can't. If I can't see you, you can't see me. That's their strategy. So they get to the cargo bay and meet Mirror Ezri. Rom continues to try to figure out the rules. I feel you, buddy. She's about to beam out with the cloak, but then Martok arrives furious he's been robbed. So of course, Quark and Rom are forced to hop on the transporter and beam through the looking glass. They arrive in the mirror cargo bay, which Rom is confused that it is identical. Now, I did notice from the production level, we see a cable that has been gaffed to the floor to light up that panel. Which is very obvious. You might see it a couple... Go one shot for it, see if we can see it. Keep going. Yeah, see how you can see the cable gaffed to the floor there? That they were probably not expecting us to be able to see on our 90s TVs.
Yeah, I see it now, yeah.
So, then...
It's funny, we've not advanced in any way, shape, or form. We're still gaffing cables.
It's still gaff taped to the carpet. 100%. Then... in strides Vic Fontaine, who is not a hologram in this version, and he is shot by Bashir and Dennis Matalone.
All right, if I'm playing Keith's game, I will say this one is the one where we're like, look, we used to try to like make there be some connection between this and that, and like that character in this universe versus like, and usually it was either opposite or there was some motivational crossover, and here we're just no.
Why not? He's not a hologram.
And it was almost like they had a meeting. They're like, all right, Keith, we got Vic, we got Jimmy, right?
Yeah. We should use him.
Yeah, totally. I need you to sketch me up some ideas how to make him look as ridiculous as him. Like, I mean, ridiculous to the point where he's probably almost uncomfortable. I need that to be done.
Okay, so like a little shirt coat. That he could probably get away with shirt cocking it on 90s TV, but we'll put him in some leather pants.
Oh, totally leather pants, some weird mustache, and like mess up his hair like O'Brien's.
Yeah. No, it's good because he's bad. He's must.
Yeah, it's so bad. I thought it was going to be. I didn't think it could get worse, and then they reminded me what Bashir looks like, and then. Whatever they do, it's like they didn't know what to do to O'Brien, so they just like roll a blow dryer in his hair for so long that it does like a mic. O'Brien's rocking like a curly mic. It's really bizarre how bad it is.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. I mean, Rom is even more confused. We all are. So they shoot Mirror Vic Fontaine.
Okay, yeah. There's a lot of murder in this episode, actually.
There always is the reason we're using Vic Fontaine. We've already killed off all of the mirror everybody's.
I bet I'm thinking that James Darren was like, yo, I'll put this on, but one scene, you get one scene, one take, baby, and I'm out.
I thought it was fun. It's so stupid.
Oh, that's a great shot with the smoke.
Yeah, maybe I'll. Oh, yeah,
that
I'll
could
use
be
that.
yeah, for sure.
Oh, I've already built it, but maybe I'll use it anyway. So, Rom is even more confused. We all are. So they're in Act 2. They're taken prisoners by the rebels, and Mirror O'Brien then says, "It's our cloak now." We also find out, of course, that Jadzia has died on this side of the mirror as well.
Of course,
naturally.
Yeah.
You know, it is heartbreaking to me that.
But is our Dax the next evolution of their dead Dax as well?
No, Dax is not a part of Ezri here. Ezri is separate.
Oh, look at Brian Sayre. See what I'm saying? They're just like, somehow make it frizz more than usual.
I mean, I just feel for Alex in his like remember the musical The Pirate Queen?
I was gonna. It's funny. I was just about to say. I was like, imagine the worst community production of Pirates of Penzance.
Pirates of Penzance, maybe a little Scarlet Pimpernel.
Pimpernel for sure. Martin Guerre.
Sure. Anyway.
Stars. He could be a Jalvert there. A Jalvert.
Oh, those belts. Anyway, O'Brien offers to send them home, but Quark won't leave until he has Zek. So they're trapped in a holding cell.
Oh,
and
meanwhile, that's like Keith in Titanic the musical wig.
It really is. That's not good. Not good at all. Meanwhile, on the Alliance's flagship, Mirror Kira seduces Zek. They're also in a holding cell. And for whatever reasons, she punches Tiny Ron in the Tiny Ron, but clearly they're forced to do it off camera by the censors. Did you notice that?
Oh, I didn't notice that. But I did notice, and I do appreciate that the intendant here, she is literally, she's Pizza Manning. She's banging everyone. Did you mute yourself?
Of course she is.
Oh, okay. You were.
Yeah. Of course she. You know, and this is like, the episode is stupid. It's silly. Like whatever. I thought it was fun, but I'll say this, and this has always been true of the Mirror. Like Mirror's representation of female sexuality in all flavors is problematic. I'll just say that it is not good representation because all like. And it's not even just about like the sexuality parts of it. It's just like all Mirror women are super horny and gender fluid. And
yeah.
And if the idea is they're supposed to be evil versions of themselves, it's not great representation. If it were like this is just a horny universe and the men were too, and the men were also gender fluid, then that would be like, okay, cool. Or the sexuality fluid. They'd be like, okay, it's just sort of like a horny universe. But like it is very specifically played for the obvious reasons.
I won't argue against that.
Yeah. So anyway, Mirror Kira thinks that they'll both be released once they get the cloaking device. Back on the station, Rom, Ezri, and Quark are rescued by none other than Brunt, who is nice in this universe. Hilarious.
Nothing Jeffrey Combs can't do.
Nothing he can't do. He's already retrieved the cloaking device, and he greets them warmly, and they head off for his ship. So on Brunt's ship, Rom hilariously wonders if the tube grubs are poisonous in the Mirror universe. He's really struggling with the whole alternate versus opposite idea.
I'll save us the beat for later. This is my favorite take of the episode, not just for the reasons you had mentioned earlier, that it's like so self-aware, that everything's crazy over here in the rules, but in my opinion, it's the best Easter egg we've done on Trek. This is clearly the beat from Princess Bride that Wallace Shawn does with the poison in the cup.
Right.
And so it's like an Easter egg within an Easter egg within the greater universe, and I just thought it was so brilliant. I only wish that they had done the beat with Wallace Shawn. But if it's not that, then it's way too coincidental. It has to be on the nose. Anyway, my favorite beat.
I would think. Yeah. It's cute.
Also, I love Jeffrey Combs in this episode.
Because he's Jeffrey Combs. Yeah. Of course.
And
we find out...
sorry, I will belabor the point. He's such a D-bag as Brunt. Like, I viscerally hate Brunt. And the fact that he can, in one scene, 2 scenes, completely turn that is awesome. Well, and, like, have such a general affection for Ezri and for Rom. It's crazy.
I mean, we call that range. And is there any human being in the world with better range than Jeffrey Combs?
Keith and I were talking this morning about taste and how just like hours of practice can make you proficient at something. Maybe not good, but proficient. But what's nice to know in the arts, now I'm not talking about success, right? Success is a different beast. When it comes to like performance, at least, what's nice to know is that despite everything, good is good. How you get there
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Good
doesn't matter.
Is good, and you know it when you see it.
Yep, that is very true. So we find out that Mirror Brunt is in love with Mirror Ezri. Of course. But she's Mirror Ezri, so she's gay. So on the bridge of the Alliance ship, Regent Worf and Mirror Garrick argue. Dorn is very much enjoying this character. Not everybody seems to enjoy being the mirror versions of themselves, but Dorn loves it.
Well, not everybody gets to be a badass that just is chewing the actual chair.
Well, literally. Yeah. Well, I mean, Dorn as Worf is so uptight. Worf is so controlled. Worf is perpetually pushing back on his Klingon instincts to be able to just like, let's go full Klingon. Has got to be a nice release for him.
Yeah. Also, this Garrick. So, I want to remind me why this Garrick wants to kill the Intendant so bad.
I don't know. They've hated each other from the get.
The Intendant, the Regent, what do we? It is nonsense.
Yeah, I will say Robinson was really happy to not do the Mirror Garrick because he was such a dork. Like, he was so worthless. It was like the only thing that made him different from Garrick is he was full evil and incompetent. Which is weird because, so it really wasn't different enough. Yeah, but also, he was just wienery. So he was really glad to get him killed off. So, so the Ferengis arrive on the giant ship, which is a cool, big, badass ship. I like that. They present Worf with the cloaking device, hoping to be released with the Nagus.
But just to put a pin in it for later, because I have a question for you. Every establishing digital shot we've had so far, awesome. Yeah,
and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, people of the internet, but this is a specific to the Mirror Universe Klingon ship. I do not believe that exists in our universe. So they built that. I think it looks great.
Because I don't know if I get a shot of it later. I say that to counterpoint there's a weird CGI shot of the Defiant blasting at the end, which looks really bad. And I'm wondering if that's just the upscale or if it was bad on the run. And why?
You don't mean the shot where we're looking at the Defiant in the screen?
No, where it's like blasting at the ship at the end before they have the surrender.
Oh, I have to go back and look for it. I don't think I noticed. So, then Intendant Kira strides in onto the bridge and kisses Ezri. They've been double-crossed, of course, and they lock up Rom and Quark. So in Act 4, in the cell, Nog and Quark are now with the Nagus, and the Nagus tells Rom he stole the information to get to the Mirror Universe from him. Rom, you gotta keep those classified documents. You gotta keep them tight. They're gonna come for you.
Yeah, iPad security not good with ROM.
iPad security, gotta put, don't put the Face ID because that they can, the kids out there, put the passcode. Face ID can be unlocked by the police. The passcode they need a warrant for. Just so you know. Meanwhile, Mirror Brunt talks with Mirror Ezri. He feels guilty. Then Mirror Kira comes in and Brunt argues to let Rom and Quark live, so she stabs him in the chest because, of course. Bye, nice Brunt. Worf's ship is looking for the Mirror Defiant, but the cloak isn't ready yet. they go to make Rom fix it. Rom works on it with Mirror Gurk's help. Naturally, he gets it going. They cloak and sneak up on the Defiant, which was the shot that I was talking about. They're sort of rushing through all this because none of this matters. But I did like the shot of seeing the Defiant on the screen before we know it's a screen, but it's a little washed out. I'm like, oh, that looks weird. And then we pull back and we realize it's a screen. And they did not get the OLED. It was clearly LED, so it wasn't quite as good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they cloak and then sneak up on the Defiant. So Worf tells Garrick to execute them because they got the cloak going. Then Garrick goes to kill them with a syringe of horrific poison that he's looking forward to using. Quark buys time by convincing Garrick to interrogate them instead of executing them. And Quark says, this is great. Our Garrick would have us hanging by our toenails by now, telling him all of our secrets. What secrets? That's for us to know and for you to find out. Fun, smart, like actual problem solving from our heroes here. So on the Mirror Defiant, Bashir and Smiley wonder if they've figured out the cloak yet. And we see that they have and are right on their tail unseen. They drop out of cloak, but, of course, when Worf attempts to fire, of course Rom has sabotaged the ship. The force field goes down and Ezri kills Garrick. See, like, this is where, like, at least our heroes did have some agency. I think we didn't spend enough time on Rom having sabotaged the ship.
Yeah. Because I think they wanted it to be like a shock reveal, but we knew
we knew it was coming, and I think it would all mean more and be more memorable if we gave a crap who won on either side of the Mirror Universe. Like, there's ostensibly good guys and bad guys, but at this point, like, who cares? And I think it sort of suffers from not really caring who wins. Like, they all just kill each other, who cares?
And there's sort of like selective amnesia of these episodes too, and I understand why we do this, so I'm not getting into the weeds of that, but one of the other things that's ridiculous is always no one ever recognizes anybody's gone, right? So they stole this thing, then they got hostaged away to an alternate reality, but we don't ever get a take from the ship where it's like, hey, where are Rom and Quark? Quark didn't come to work today. That would be noticed.
On Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
Well, we never go back to Deep Space Nine. We don't know what they're doing. They could be doing anything.
I know. But that's the universe I give a shit about. So even like a recognition of it would be nice. But whatever. I know that's not what we're doing.
Yeah. But that's fair. And we have that in
all the other Mirror Universe episodes.
And we also had that in the cult episode when Kira got raptured, right?
Mm-hmm.
We at least had a brief moment where, like, hey, Kira's gone, let's go find her. We never went back, but we at least acknowledged that our heroes knew that something was up. But I guess, like, you know, we know that scene. They could have inserted it, but, like, we know. So, so the Defiant attacks the crippled ship and pew pew, and Worf is forced to surrender to Smiley. Then in the corridors, Mirror Ezri meets up with Mirror Kira, and I think they're breaking up. Ezri is pissed that she killed Brunt, and Ezri decides to defect to the rebels. Back on Mirror Deep Space Nine, they're greeted as heroes. And of course, they're greeted by Mirror Lita, who has the hots for Mirror Ezri.
To which, cue...
Yes, cue the Oga of it all, which is...
Did she get to escape a bad hairdo? No, she did not.
She did not. No, she had the reverse Pike where it just like comes down. Yeah, I mean, look, we've been screaming for some queer representation on Deep Space Nine, and then we get it. It sucks. So,
well, especially with, like, I don't want to spend too much time on it but it's not just, like, the simplicity with what they play it and the, like, single-mindedness with which...
The fact that it's just entirely there for the male gaze and not to actually represent any queer people.
And also, there have been such nuanced takes, or ish, with the trill of it all being like,
Right.
like that was interesting. But then when you take the trill out, now she's just female, and it felt like it is regressive.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I think the queer representation in the Mirror Universe in general is bad. It's there for the male gaze. It's not there to represent anything. It's just sort of titillating for the sake of being titillating and not in any way representative of any actual human beings. And I do not care for it.
Great. So then let me just tie that to my big overarching point.
Shall we go into our last show, into our,
Sure.
since we're already in it?
AlamarEmmys, there was more. AlamarEmmys, it's AlamarEmmys time.
Wow, there it is.
Yeah, you're not wrong. If you were allowed to just say, well, we're making comment on it, and it's a goofy whatever episode, it's like whatever. If that is the take, then you cannot take issue with the way they're playing the representation and the like.
Well,
we're either.
Look, I accept nonsense. I do not accept casual, if unintentional, homophobia.
Sure, but that casualness, they are, I think, playing like it's part of the just like general ridiculousness of the universe.
Which, if it were not just the hot women kissing each other, I would be like, great.
I'm just saying. I think we're saying the same thing ultimately.
Yeah.
But I already said my best moment. I think it's the but if you drink the poison and I drink, indubitably, it's absolutely that Easter egg. My favorite Easter egg of the series. And if it wasn't an intended Easter egg, pretend it was. That's all I'm saying.
100%
Yeah.
pretend it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, so my heart says it just cracked me up seeing Vic Fontaine. That was really fun.
It was fun. If not absolutely ridiculous.
The actual truth is, I just really loved Rom trying to figure out the rules of the Mirror Universe. Like, I personally found that type of self-awareness delightful and fun, and just realizing that, like, we tried to make this make sense. It doesn't. Let's just have fun. And
okay. I'd argue just punt. Just like cash in your losses and punt, but...
Well, for sure. I certainly would as well. I mean, like, don't let me be very clear. I would have punted the Mirror episodes after, like, the second one. Right? I think we have the law of diminishing returns. If we don't have something to say, then, and there are no stakes and it doesn't matter, then it's a waste of time. It's not as fun it's not as fun to watch as it must have been to produce.
Okay.
So I'm with you on that.
You get some stamps. Hell yeah, they are some silly. Here are some stamps for you.
Yeah.
So Keith,
Yeah.
speaking of focused in on task,
Oh.
did I find all of the other Mirror episodes, get our transcripts from YouTube, place them into the AI to see what we thought? Sure did. Let's look at the trajectory of the Mirror universes. Crossover from season 2. We generally praised. Dark political allegory and a fresh twist. All right?
Wow.
Through the Looking Glass, season 3. We were a little less positive. Action rescue. Emotional hook with Jennifer Sisko.
Mm-hmm.
Shattered Mirror, season 4. Mixed. Fun spectacle, but camp is rising. I love the summation. This should just be the podcast.
Just AI wrote this about what we said?
And then have AI summarize it.
Wow.
We'd save everybody's life. Resurrection, season 6. Keith, poor. Pointless Kira Barile romance filler. And then brings us to
That's
Emperor's
fair.
New Cloak. I put this. Farce tone, no stakes, wasted final season slot.
Yep.
So, you've heard what I thought, so I'll try to keep it kind of brief. The tone, it's hard because I get the tone they're going for. It's just butting up against a season where I'm kind of I'm waiting to get on the roller coaster, and so at some point I've been in line for so long that the cool theming you've done, it's not doing it for me.
Should have bought the Fast Pass.
I should have bought the Fast Pass, but I did not. I bought the 7 years of my life pass. It succeeds in playing like a campy detour when I want it to be charging towards the finale. And I know you said we're getting on the ride, and I'd like to hear that. I found the Quark and Rom bumbling through the Mirror Universe to have less goofy appeal than you did. I found it to be I don't know. I can't explain it. It just doesn't, I'm done with it. Especially since I felt like we've moved forward with those characters. I feel like the plot is flimsy at best. It doesn't carry any weight. And thus the stakes for the show and for we're in the middle of the final season.
Yep.
What are we doing? Also found the plot to be somewhat cheap, as I said, often misogynistic. The intendant, she never moved, like at least in the first 2 episodes, she was conniving and plotting, and she clearly had some tactical powers, but here it's just like I just
she didn't actually accomplish anything.
Yeah, and also,
or even try to accomplish anything.
Yeah. Here's the thing, it's not awful, right? It's like last week I felt like as poor as that felt about that episode in the grand scheme, it was attempting to color in Ezri and give us something for that. Here, I just feel like, speaking of empty calories, I just don't know what are we doing? Like, what am I getting from this? This is the definition of filler. We are just having an episode to have an episode here. Sure, you can absolutely throw up your hands and be like, just enjoy it, come on. And I'm generally the one arguing that. But here, for whatever reason, it doesn't do it. And it could be because, the idea of, if it ain't great in season 7, it's bad.
Yep.
And so, it brings me to those two. It makes me make it black and white more than I usually do.
Mm-hmm.
Either it is a fun, hollow diversion, or it's a wasted hour in a 26-hour last season, right?
Yeah.
And because I cannot tell you which one it is 100%, I fall directly in the middle. Mm-hmm. And so I give it 50 self-sealing stem bolts.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think all of that is completely valid. And I think that there is such, I was going to say pressure, but I think more responsibility to land this plane.
Yeah.
Right? That we are here, we are nearing the end game. Right? We've done 100 and something episodes by now. 150. We've done like 150 episodes now.
So much time.
And so, the stakes here are high for the series, if not necessarily the episode.
Right.
So I get that. I get that, and we are in the mid-season lull, right? The last lull of the series. We are in.
But you just told me there's 4 more episodes of that lull.
No, I didn't say lull.
Okay.
I said 4 more episodes of
the pre-final
non-serialized. Arc. Right. So looking up, what do we have ahead of us? Next week is Field of Fire, then Chimera, then Chimera, then Bada Bing, Bada Bing.
Did we just see Chimera on Strange New... Sorry, I'm gonna shut up.
So, no, different. And then, basically, we're on the ride. And so, and I would argue that 2 out of the 3 of the next 3 that before we get on the ride are pretty good. So yeah, I get it. You know what think I am less down on this episode because it is so much better than the last Mirror episode, Resurrection, when we brought back Dum Dum Barile, where I hated that one so much that this one being inoffensive, at least it was a little bit funny. At least like stuff happened. Whereas Resurrection had the horrible, the worst sin on Star Trek, and that is being boring. And it bored the crap out of me. And so this one, is it stupid? Yes. You know, you either like enjoy the winky self-awareness of making fun of itself, or you don't. But at least it's not boring. So, like, is it good? No, of course it's not good. I'm not pretending that it's good. I am definitely done with the Mirror stuff. The law of diminishing returns, it has now diminished real far. But at least it wasn't last episode. At least it wasn't Resurrection. So, for me, I was like, all right, I appreciate that you realize this is stupid. Right? As opposed to pretending like I'm supposed to be emotionally resonant. I thought some of the gags were funny. I thought Ron was really funny. I liked playing with the cloaking device. So that was fun. The actual plot, I've stopped caring about the Alliance versus the Rebels or whatever it was. Like I can't even keep track of who's on which side or who's the good guy or who's the bad guy, who's got these. I don't care anymore, right?
Yeah.
I used to care, but I don't care anymore. So, in the end, it's better than last week because last week was boring. Like last week was pointless and time-killy and boring. This was pointless and time-killy, but at least stuff happened. And it made me laugh. And so, I give it that credit. So for me, last week I gave a 43. This week, I didn't love it, but it gets a 67 because at least it didn't bore me to tears.
That's funny, because last week I gave it a 60-something. It's funny, our averages will actually bring them pretty close.
Yeah. So last week you gave it a 58, and I gave it a 43. So,
last week will net out worse.
Last week, I think last week is far worse than this week. So there we are. That's the Emperor's New Cloak. Next week we will be discussing Field of Fire. So we'll see what happens there. Mike, what do you think Field of Fire is going to be about?
I have no idea. And that's, and that's a problem I hope Deep Space Nine Season 7 will solve soon. I've been promised a lot, and there's been some great episodes in the season, but let's go.
Yeah.
It's time to land the bird, baby.
It's time. Well, yeah, we're getting there. I mean, it's funny how quickly
I have 3 months of my life left.
I just have to point out how crappy our memory is. We're like, right. I'm annoyed at this. 2 weeks ago it's only a paper moon. 2 weeks before that was Siege of AR-15. A few weeks before that was Take Me Out to the Holosuite.
I don't discount that, but even Paper Moon, which is, I think, the best episode, has nothing to do with the big picture. I'm saying I miss that arc, right? I want to go back to I'm not saying that's not a great episode, but that would have been a great episode in any season. I mean, it's earned for season 7, obviously, but this season you didn't need to be here.
Yeah, well,
you put the 2 shittiest episodes after the best episode of the series.
For sure. Well, they always do that. They always do a crappy one after the good one. So, all right, we'll see you back here next week. Till then, this has been Keith and Mike. Watch Deep Space Nine.
Do we?
Yeah, we do.
Thank you for watching
Not always
K&M
consensual, but we
Entertainment.
do it.
If you enjoyed our particular brand of nonsense, please like and subscribe. Or become one of our patrons at patreon.com/KNM.
Anyway, what are we saying? Yes, the words. Could you read some?